Here are a few simple swaps you can do to lose more fat. A lot of people have the misconception that in order for them to get lean and lose fat and achieve their dream physique, they have to make some dramatic lifestyle change. They cannot eat sugars, they can never eat fast food, they gotta be working out every single day for an hour and a half. And the truth is, when people take this approach, obviously they're gonna see success for a week, for 2 weeks, but it's unsustainable, especially if you've lived your whole life very sedentary, never really training consistently, and then you try to do this insane approach. It's never going to work. It's only going to work if you were, an athlete in the past or you have some insane willpower. But good news is you only need to make slight changes and simple swaps for you to see the results that you want. So we can make swaps amongst three fields: training, nutrition, and recovery. So let's start with nutrition. Here are a few swaps you can make nutrition-wise that are very simple that'll help you lose fat. Instead of having your coffee with cream and sugar, just have black coffee. If you want, you can add a little bit of low-fat milk, right? Instead of having chips, have popcorn. Instead of having Haagen-Dazs delicious ice cream, have Halo Top ice cream that tastes pretty good, but not as good for, a tenth of the calories or maybe a fifth of the calories, right? So there are these little things you can do just by switching, and you've saved a lot of calories. You've made it a lot easier to stick to your diet. Instead of regular Coke, have Diet Coke. Instead of 80-20 ground beef, have 90-10 ground beef, right? You can opt for leaner options of the same thing. You can opt for low sugar options of the same thing. Instead of regular peanut butter, have powdered peanut butter. It's ultra filtered, higher protein, less sugar. You just mix it in with some low fat milk. It's delicious, right? What are some swaps you can make regarding your recovery? Instead of watching 3 episodes of Netflix before you sleep, just watch one and get an extra 45 minutes of sleep. Turn off screens 30 minutes before bed. Instead of, waking up at random times, have a set sleep schedule. What are some swaps you can make regarding your training? And this might actually surprise you, but a swap you can make that'll build you more muscle and eventually lead to fat loss, because the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest, is actually taking longer rest times. I see a lot of people in the gym, whenever they're overweight or I can tell they're trying to lose fat, I notice that they have very short rest times, 30-second rest times, and they're doing higher reps, lighter weight, trying to tone the muscle. But in reality, you need to build strength in order to build muscle. And when you have that solid foundation of muscle, once you've built muscle over time, getting lean becomes a lot easier. And the good news is, if you're new to the gym and haven't been training for super long, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time pretty easily. You just have to hit your protein targets, get stronger, and you're guaranteed to build muscle. It's as simple as that. If you've gained strength and you're hitting your protein targets daily, you've gained muscle. You don't need to get a DEXA scan. You don't need to measure anything. It's a fact. Muscle is a natural byproduct to gaining strength. Once you increase the weights you lift, your body has to have a response to that, and that response is to build more muscle tissue. So by taking longer rest times, you're able to lift more weight, and you're really focused on the maximum output of each set. So when you're lifting the weights, you're thinking, how can I, absolutely crush this set, lift it for as many reps as I can, and your last rep's super slow, you're really tired, and it's all out set. Then you give yourself 2, 3, sometimes even 4 minutes to rest, and you're able to not lift the same weight for the same reps, but still go pretty heavy. As opposed to, if you were to shorten your rest times, you're gonna have to sacrifice the weight you're lifting, and it becomes more like a cardio workout as opposed to a workout to build muscle and build strength. So if you take longer rest times, you'll actually lose more fat because of the strength and muscle you've built. So you don't need to embark on some sort of painful journey and completely do a 180-degree, change in your life. Just make these simple swaps over time and track your progress. You have to be tracking your progress, because otherwise you don't know if what you're doing is working. So the things you want to track are your weight. Take daily weigh-ins and look at the average on a week-to-week basis. Don't stress too much about day-to-day fluctuations, because there are so many factors that can impact that, such as sodium intake and meal timing. So let's say you have a late dinner with a lot of sodium. Your next weigh-in in the morning will probably be heavier than you'd like, but that doesn't mean you've gained fat, just means you're holding on to more water. So you want to make sure you're tracking your weight consistently and looking at the trend, and also tracking your strength. Ideally, if you want to get lean, your strength goes like this, increasing a rep or 2 or 5 pounds every week or two. And your weight also goes down like this. It won't be super consistent. Maybe 1 week you lose 2 pounds and the next week you'll stay. You lose a pound, you gain a pound, lose 2 pounds. So there'll be fluctuations, but you want the overall trend of your weight to be going downwards and the overall trend of your strength going upwards. If you're not achieving this, you need to make adjustments when you realize this. You don't want to adjust a plateau 6 months down the line. It's a lot easier to adjust a plateau 1 month down the line so that you can make those adjustments and you don't end up doing the same thing while not seeing results, right? Just make these simple swaps, save this video, come back to it, and drop a comment of what you'd like me to cover next. Appreciate you big time. See you in the next one.